What's up, explorers, and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is James and I travel around in my 1994 self-converted Chevy Astro part-time. Today I wanted to give you some insights on what to carry in your van, RV, schoolie, whatever it may be in case of an emergency. These are in no specific order. They're definitely just as I can find them in the van, I'll bring them out. First thing is a safety vest. This may come in handy if your van breaks down on the side of a road. I don't have flares in here, so this to me is the next best thing. At least it gives you a little bit more visibility than if I was out on a dark road with this on. At least this is bright and has reflective finish on it. So hey, it's definitely worth keeping in your van and it takes up minimal space. Air pump. Definitely need a portable air pump. I can run this off of the power station. If you have a dedicated solar, you can run this pretty easily. It's nice to have in case of a flat tire because you could get a nail in your tire and it could be a slow leak, so it slowly leaks over time. And you can refill it with this to get to a place where you can get that tire fixed. And that leads me up to my next suggested item, a tire plug kit. Now, you can pull that nail out of your tire, scuff it up with this piece right here. You just put this in the hole. It takes a bit of pressure, and you just scuff it up. It has a rough surface on it. And then after that, you would take out your plug, stick it through this loop, just like that. Stick it in the tire. You're going to stick this thing in about that much. You want to make sure that this plug is in that tire good. And when I first got the set of my last tires, I got a nail in it probably the first week on a forest road. So I pulled that nail out, I put that patch kit in, and you're not supposed to do this, but that plug lasted me almost 3 years until my tires were worn out. Plug kit, definitely a must. Fire starting materials. I keep wood shavings. This is cedar bark and birch bark in my van at all times, just in case the heater fails, I'm stuck somewhere, run out of diesel. I have the ability to start a fire. I can cook on that fire, keep warm on that fire, and it's just a great idea to have fire starters at the ready, just in case your van becomes stranded or disabled. And of course, since we are talking about fire starting materials, you're going to need those combustion devices. I carry multiple lighters. I have a torch lighter. This is a regular like flint and steel type lighter. And then we got the ferro rod. This can work when it's wet. This you would have to dry it off once this gets wet. That's why I have a ferro rod also. And then of course the torch lighters, they don't work too good in different altitudes. So definitely the old style lighter is the way to go. And your trusty ferro rod. I have a first aid kit. This has everything that you may need. It has the basic supplies. It has a tourniquet and everything in there. Depending on your needs, you may not need such a detailed kit as this. I am an outdoorsman, hiker, backpacker, so I tend to have things that I'll need when I'm way off in the backcountry with no help. And if I get injured, I can take care of that injury. So it just depends on your needs, but first aid kit is a must, especially if you're cooking and walking around with a hitch on your van. You might kick that hitch and you got your first aid kit. Then we got the good old battery jumper box. Let's say you are in the backcountry and you went on a hike, but you left your lights on and your battery's dead. What are you gonna do? If you have a battery jumper box, you could easily just jump your battery yourself and be on your merry way. And you don't have to worry about walking miles and miles and miles to find help or get someone to jump you, especially if you have no cell service. I use the Naco. A subscriber bought me this off of my Amazon wish list, and I really like this thing. I've used it multiple times, jumped multiple people's battery, even you know, someone that may need a jump, I don't have to pull my van up to them and hook jumper cables up. I can just jump it with this. Bear spray. This is always good to have with you. You could be camping at a campsite and you're sitting down eating your dinner by the campfire, and then a bear just moseys on up right between you and your van, but you manage to have bear spray. This could save your life, even if an intruder tries to get in your van. But be careful. This stuff emits a cloud. So if you spray this in your van, you have a chance of choking out yourself as well. So just keep that in mind if you're going to use this inside your van as a self-defense. So just be aware of that. But this is always a good idea to have. Also take note, this does have an expiration date, and I'm pretty sure mine is expired because I got this a long time ago. But just keep in mind, it does expire. Fire spray or fire extinguisher, both of these will work. But if you're cooking in your van and you get distracted or your pan just spontaneously combusts, at least you'll have something to put it out. You'll have a line of defense and you can spray this on it. Fire extinguisher would probably be better, but this is better than nothing. And I've had this in my van for a while, just in case of those instances. If a fire breaks out, I know I'm not gonna burn my van down. Emergency GPS. I can't show you mine because it's my iPhone and that's what I'm filming on, but the iPhone 14 and up, you can use the SOS satellite communicator. You can text on it, you could send for roadside assistance or any other type of emergency. That's always a good idea when you get into those areas that don't have cell service. It's just essential to have that. Water purification. This is a life straw. You can go up to any body of fresh water and just slurp it up through the straw. This is good for hiking as well. But I also have this nice and fancy Ite Hill reverse osmosis water filter. This can be charged via solar, USB-C, and this thing filters out 99.9% of all contaminants, no matter if it's chemicals, viruses, bacteria, anything. This is an awesome machine. It has the filters right here. I use this to fill my 5-gallon water jug up from any stream source, any lake, any rivers. It's so amazing. They did send this one to me for free, and I do have a link if you decide to get something like this. This is a amazing machine, such a game-changing machine. You'll never not have water again. This next one I haven't put in my van quite yet because it hasn't been cold enough, but a 0-degree sleeping bag is what I carry just in case my diesel heater fails. I'll have a backup. And where I am, 0 degree is plenty enough because it doesn't get that cold here. But depending on where you are, get an appropriate sleeping bag for the temperatures. Tools. This ratchet set has been the single most used item that I own. It comes in handy. I do work on my own vehicle when I can, and this has been a lifesaver many times. I have vice grips that helps get stuck bolts off, and it acts as extra hands when you need it. Cutters, this just cuts a lot of stuff and you may need that. Definitely need the flathead and the Phillips head screwdrivers. They come in handy for everything. Flashlight, that's a must too. You can use it if you're working on your vehicle or if you're just walking outside. If you have the magnetic back like this one, you can stick it to the outside and use it as a light to get in and out of the van. And duct tape. You never know what you'll need duct tape for. That's very handy. Also, the junk bag of miscellaneous items with the screws poking through. You got washers, nuts and bolts, and all sorts of things in there for the interior trim. This has come in handy a lot too. This has helped me most recently when I replaced my heater core. There were 2 hose clamps in here, and I replaced the ones that came on there with the ones that were in that bag. So definitely keep your tools handy. Extra fluids for your van. Your van may have a slow leak of coolant and you notice that, but you already have some coolant so you can replenish that so you can get back to civilization and get it fixed. It's always a great idea to have coolant, oil on handy because those things can leak out and it can be just enough extra so you can get to where you need to get it fixed. Paracord. This is such a versatile cordage. You never know what you may need to tie up. Something could break on your van, your bumper bolts, or whatever could break, and you can tie it back up using this. This is the Paracord 550. It has 550-pound limit. So think about that. The possibilities are pretty much limitless with this stuff. I always use it because you can build shelters for survival and all sorts of things with paracord. Bow saw. Now, if you go down forest roads and you camp out and then you go to leave, depending on the diameter of a tree that could fall across the road, this may be your way out. This thing can cut pretty thick trees. Although it's a bit of work, it's still a really good tool to have. It's smaller than a chainsaw and takes up less space. But yeah, this definitely a must. All right, explorers, that's going to conclude my list of must-haves for emergencies in van life. If I missed anything or if you have anything to add to the kit, please comment down below. Let us all know what we need to have in our vans in case of an emergency. I hope this video was helpful in any way to you and it could possibly save your life or someone's life near you. As always, explorers, peace, love, and have a great day wherever you are.